I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media. Come on!
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media. What is up, everybody? About to start the show. I see, God, Donnie is good looking. That son of a bitch. We'll start the show here in a second. It's brought to you by Teebs.green. If you need your green, they have it in rec form and in med form. They're open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. They have they have bud tenders, which bud tenders. It's genius. You go in there and there's a bar, and then they put your little bud underneath the microscope, and you could see all the elements that make you feel so much better. No matter what your problem is, Teebs is gonna take you under their wing and caress you with bud, and it's gonna be amazing. That's matter. Ashley, you look uncomfortable.
They make me like Andrew.
I think it's just the sound of your voice in the morning.
Yeah.
Well,
talking about bud.
It is definitely.
Oh, yeah.
What can you say? What can you whisper that makes it sound creepy?
What happened? I'm a little sick, so when you get a little sick, you know how you get that deepness, that resin in your voice.
I love
that
that voice.
Ooh, thank you.
Well, your sick voice is probably different than a man's sick voice because he's on.
Well, I sound like a man, so
he's on the precipice of becoming a child. You know that. Oh, I can't move. Will you get me some chicken noodle soup?
yeah.
Oh,
He's close.
My temperature is 99.7.
Oh, that sounds so familiar, huh, John?
That's
Right?
a normal day for him, you guys.
Let's do this.
And now, our feature presentation.
This is Ed McMahon. And now, here's Andrew.
Andrew Z. How about that, Andrew Z? I said Andrew Z. In the morning, it's time to wake up. Andrew Z. In the morning, yeah. Come on.
What is up, everybody? Good morning. It's Thursday, March 18th, 2021. Demetrius Nicodeumus. Eastside, Southside, Gina from Gabella Media. And the P's, Donnie P. And the official realtor on the show, Ashley P.
Woohoo! I need to make like a house sign.
To get this show started right now.
Yeah, that's good.
I saw Ashley made it official on her Facebook page. She's a realtor now and so fancy.
Yeah. I
can't-
had a meeting today and I was like, I just feel like I haven't sold a house yet, so I shouldn't be like touting myself. And she was like,
No.
She's like, get out of your own head. You are the only one holding you back. I was like, you're right, sister. Woo!
Yes,
So
you
I
are.
I swear, sometimes it's just like I was thinking about this morning, man. Like people, like it amazes me sometimes how people make a living on hyping other people up. You know, like when I was a kid, like the hype, like you remember the original motivational speaker was MC Hammer's like hype guy. Like, tell him what you got, Hammer. And then Tim Robbins came out. He was like, if I did this to white people, I could make a ton of money.
He is the white people
He's
hype
really
man.
good.
He
really
is.
good, too.
He
is.
is the tell him what you got, Hammer guy.
Yep.
He's like, oh, they ain't ready for you, Hammer. You woke up today and you put your Hammer pants on. You better than everybody else, Hammer. And Tim Robbins was like, if I put on a suit and I tell Chad the exact same thing, I can make millions.
Well, what's that movie with Alec Baldwin where he gives that speech that speech that white people love that you close the sale or closing is for loser or I never saw the movie.
Worst. It's the worst ever.
Is it the worst? And
So
people
cliche.
love it.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, yeah, because I mean I'm in car sales, so salespeople like glorify it, but it's just so lame.
Really? Is it lame?
These are the real leads. Put
Is it-
that coffee down.
Yes,
Coffee
Yeah.
closers.
Is it
So
death
part
of a
of it.
salesman?
We said that right when I picked my coffee up. And you said put that coffee down, and immediately my mind went, "Fuck you."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So a couple things. I mentioned that I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm not really sick, but I think as I'm losing weight, I'm getting colder. So like Colleen wants the fan on, and I'm freezing, and I'm the type that I don't know if it's ductwork but every year
You're telling me you're losing your insulation, so you're drafty.
It's such a thing. It is such a thing, D. Come on. You've dropped like 20 pounds before. You know it's real. Dude, I used to be able to like not go like I used to be able to like not even wear a jacket in the winter because I had like an extra layer, you know. But then you lose like 20 pounds, you're like, Jesus, a little brisk out here.
I need an Afghan. I need someone to knit an Afghan. I just walk around with an Afghan.
And it starts. Honey, I need you to knit me an Afghan. Oh.
My worry is I'm supposed to get the vaccine tomorrow, so hopefully they're not going to say that I'm sick to where I can't get the vaccine.
So I
you
just
fake
read
that
something yesterday that they don't even ask you. They just
Nice.
you do the pre-qualifying thing. You go in there. They don't even ask you for an ID, as far as I know. You just walk in the door and they're like, "Are you who you say you are? Okay, cool. Give me your arm, and you're good to go."
They did it for when I did.
Who's next on your list?
They
Yes,
took your
that's
ID, Ash.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
I did.
me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Did you have
Yeah,
to
and
show
they
like
would
your
so you-
credentials? Like
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So, and then you fill out the paperwork, and it has the question on there. But then they also ask you, like, when you sit down to get the vaccine, like, are you feeling well, or how are you
you
feeling?
both-
How was your reaction to the last shot?
You get both of them already, Ashley?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done. Damn.
Yeah,
damn.
Man,
yeah,
she can
it's all
start
good
having
and great. Yeah, but like I can't even like still take my mask off, which is kind of annoying because it's like,
Around other vaccinated people, you can.
well, yeah, but it's still like taboo to be like, "Are you vaccinated?"
No, hey,
People are
you
like,
know what?
"I'm not answering that question,"
You
so I
gotta
feel
do
like
it like-
weird asking it. So
Ash, you got to do it like old school drug dealers used to do. That like you just put your sticker on the inside of your coat and you look at somebody and you go, "Hey," and if they go, "Mm-hmm," then you're like, "All right,"
right,
and then you close your jacket and go into Dirty Bird.
yeah,
We're gonna have a whole new like group of people, me included, and it's a little kinky. Like, hey, you want to take our masks off? Should we just take our masks off?
Hell yeah, you're gonna have like masked swinger parties where you leave a bowl in front of the door, and like whoever mask you grab is the person you go home with.
Who had
I'm
the
already
Ohio
sweating,
State
you
mask?
guys. I'm already sweating this morning. Weed and
Oh, so you're on
Yeah,
it. So you're in the
mask
group too.
So you're on that shit.
I knew it.
You're on that shit right now, Ashley, huh? This
yeah.
is your thing.
I guess the
Everybody
first mask
take your
party's at our
masks
house.
right?
All right, so
Yeah, I'll host first.
two things. First of all, back to the hype man thing. I think that there's a business opportunity here, D, that you're onto something. I think there are a lot of people out there that don't have a hype person in their life, like a go girl person. So I almost think that there's a business for $9.99 a month.
So you think D would be the perfect hype person? Because I disagree. D would be like, "Come on now, you know better."
You know.
Be like, "All right, shit."
Well,
All right, I
and
won't
that's
do it.
why, and that is why we do packages. See, like,
Yeah.
like the you know what you should be doing package,
Right.
which
Oh,
is
yeah.
like $9, and the dude you can conquer the world package, which is like $28.99. And if you get the $9.99 package, then you get me going, bro. Get your ass up.
Yeah.
You know who you got a baby with. You know she ain't gonna let you not fucking work. Get up.
Well, and here's the thing. Do you bring up a great point? Is they can be two packages. Some people probably have too many you go girls in their life, and so they don't get any real genuine advice. It's all positive, and we can give them a reality check as well.
Ooh.
So whether
But you know better than that package.
yeah, exactly.
Like you know better than that. Come on now.
She ain't gonna let you go golfing on Saturday.
Yeah.
What are you talking? Your kid's got a birthday
Yeah.
party. Why would
It's
you
your-
even ask, dummy?
It's your mother-in-law's birthday. You know you can't do shit today. What is wrong with you?
So we need 2 packages, and the other one is if you don't have enough you go girls in your life, then we'll be your go girl. You got this, girl. Come on, today is the day. We'll just send you a text message every day. I'm telling you,
it. I love it a little bit.
Yes, and Ashley, we're gonna give you the majority of the money because you're gonna be the you go girl because you're so good at it. Like if they just go to your Facebook page, but it's different. It's different when they see a meme on Facebook and when they get a text right to their phone from someone that they know. Knows them.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. So
Andrew's really trying to start this business. Don't let him make you think this is a joke. In his mind right now, he is like getting a whole business plan together.
I'm on a business. I'm on a business plan run right now. I don't know. Go ahead, Ashley.
And I'm sorry, but I want everybody who's listening to know that we all think these are bits. We are literally working off of a creative kind of need to make something entertaining.
Right.
He is making life decisions off of things we think are jokes.
Well, because we already have our first, Katrina's already our first customer. I will totally sign up to be someone's go girl. See?
No, she wants to get hired.
Wants to hype somebody.
Yeah, she wants to see. Everybody wants to be hyped. Nobody wants to get hyped up. Everybody wants to be a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian.
Go ahead.
I definitely will be an Indian in this one, but I signed up for a text thing like a year ago today. A year ago, we had a public speaker come in. Her name's Diana Patton. And she was amazing, and she totally had me hyped up, and I was like feeling like I could take on the world. And then a week later, like COVID hit. And then I was like, oh shit. But so through all of COVID, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get a text from her. That's like, is like a you go girl kind of text.
But let me ask you this, because you don't have a personal connection with her, would you say that you start to blow them off? Because I signed up for one from Allison Stoner. And because I know it's not personalized, I started to I
fucking Kim Possible.
I read
the
first couple. Here, let me get the last one.
I just feel like, okay.
Phineas and Ferb.
No, I read the first couple, and then I just kind of blow them off because they're not personal. Here's the one I got on Monday. You ready? Hi.
What you doing?
Yeah.
Was that Gina?
Yeah,
that was me.
That was good, Gina.
That was my Isabella impression.
That's her line from the show. So.
Right. Phineas and Ferb.
That's how she starts every text. What you doing?
I thought that was the text.
Yeah.
Came in with
and then Andrew responds, well, there's 104 days in summer vacation, and
that's the song to the show, everybody.
Right.
You guys, I don't even know this. I'm just sitting here smiling like
Have you heard the song, Phineas and Ferb?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that show.
He's the guy with the triangle face and they do all kind. Yeah, okay.
It's a great show.
I'll have to look it up.
I watch it without the kids. We went to see Phineas and Ferb live, the whole 9 yards.
Really?
Awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. Okay, so real quick, I want to finish I got 2 things I'm doing. I'm 3 things in my head at once, dude. I got up at 4:30 this morning. I am ready to. I'm more prepared than I have ever been.
Oh
so
my!
I know I got like three things in my head right now. So, but just if you can just forgive me for one moment.
Look at my other half of the thick chicks, Andrew. Jen just said she can be your hype person.
Yeah,
she's a great hype. Wait till we start. Jen and I are going to be starting our podcast back up. Right, Jen? Yes. Say yes.
Okay.
And it's so funny. But anyways, she just popped on, so I wanted to say hi.
Okay, Georgia, if we can show this, or Tammy, when you get a chance, when you get it, I just sent you something. Okay, so let me read the text message from Allison Stoner of Phineas and Ferb fame. She says, "First came Monday. Hi, how are you holding up today? It's been about a year since the lockdown began, and you may be feeling some emotions arise. Here are some simple and clear affirmations to help ground you this week. 1, I am okay. 2, I am safe to feel emotions in my body.
Oh, Christ.
3, well, you throw it off, D, when you do this. I mean,
hold on. This is helping me.
We're rolling.
I'm sorry. You're right.
I'm growing right now, bro.
Yes. Number 3, I've grown so much. 4.
Me too, Allison. Me too.
Yeah.
4. How beautiful that I've created a safe space within myself. Please let me know which ones are most helpful. Have a week filled with calmness and joy.
Hey, we aren't your focus group. You don't get to ask us and then we send you the most effective ones back. That doesn't make sense. What is, like, you know what? This whole thing has got me. I changed my mind. We need a keeping it real. We need a keeping it real kind of thing where it's a little affirmation, a little, man, you know what? We understand this shit sucks. Like, instead of just going, you know what? It's okay to feel things. Bro, I know sometimes you want to put your fist through a wall, but I'm going to tell you, you are not alone. Let's just stop all that huggy feely shit. People don't know how to react to that. They think they're like, well, I'm raging inside. What am I supposed to do with that? This dude's got me fucking picking flowers. Now I want to fucking strangle these flowers. I'm going to be like, look, bro, it's okay. Find a tree. Try to choke the shit out of that tree. And when you're tired, go home. How about that? This is what we do. All right. Now that you've done that, we're going to go home. We're going to attack the day. But we understand that sometimes life sucks. And a text message from a cartoon Disney star doesn't seem to appropriately wrap it up for you. And I get it. You know what? Just to make you laugh, I'm going to send you a couple of words that Mike Tyson likes to spell wrong all the time. Now,
I like the real one too.
That's the other package. So either
that's level
one.
7. That's like the $19.99 a month one. That's like the
that was
level 7 once you get through the first few.
Yes, that was a good one.
Yeah,
well, I have a
work
hype
your way up.
person. I have a hype man.
Read. Oh, it's like one thing to like read like things that you're saying out loud, but like when you say them out loud, it does make it feel a little weird and awkward. And you're like, oh, okay, I've grown so much. Yeah. But like when you read it on a text, you're like, okay, yeah, sure, I have.
Or in a meme, you're like, yeah.
Like you need some old timey white man to tell you you're awesome in a meme. Like they use those old school, do you have herpes drawings? And then like they put something positive over it. It's always like the dad in the suit and the mom in the apron. And you're like, oh, wow. Well, that must be fact.
Gina, what were you going to say?
I have a hype person. Maybe not.
Yeah.
This is it. Like every day,
sure.
My coffee tells me I can do anything I want to do, or nothing that I want to do with a little more energy.
So does cocaine.
Yeah, well, coffee's legal. So
yeah, and I don't care about legality. We don't care about that, Ashley.
I know.
But what I do care about that. I have an addictive personality. I know me. I've never done coke because I will end up on the street corner sucking dick for coke. So I don't do coke because I know that will happen. It's very simple. See that stuff? It will fuck my life up. I am not going to do it. That's how it goes.
Now watch, people are going to just start dropping coke off at your house.
I'll still be like, really, bitch? You think you won't?
Yeah.
Try this.
Watch me ball.
Yep. I'm putting this right on the shaft of my penis just so I can watch you blow this money.
So now that I've shared my Allison Stoner affirmation with you, I would like to share an Allison Stoner flashback with you.
Oh yes, I know what this is.
Do we have that video, everybody? I'm not sure. I think Georgia has that video. No, we don't. Okay, Georgia says we don't have that video. So we'll.
Was that Kara in the background?
Yes.
Tell her we said hi. I heard.
They say hi.
Good morning.
She says good morning. Oh. She is. Yes.
Which means F off because it's too early to be talking to me.
She is on point. She looks beautiful today. It is.
Oh, let's see her.
Look, come here. Come here. Don't make me. I'll take this camera and follow you with it.
Yay.
Oh,
she does.
Gosh, she's beautiful and ready to go.
Morning.
Ready to go. Good morning. Okay, so here's the other thing. Until we're waiting on, I think we're gonna get this video. We may or may not. But okay, so the other thing was, you guys are assholes. As we talk about this hype person,
is this news?
Yeah, because
breaking news with a Z.
Here's what I've realized. I have been dieting, and I've lost 60 pounds. And I look in the mirror and I'm still fucking fat.
Mm-hmm.
That means that you guys did not even tell me I was fat. Like, how dare, what assholes
You
are
hear that shit every day.
Hold up. No,
Gina definitely calls you out. Gina.
Yeah.
Other than Gina.
Well, we
hell?
can't.
I'm so
Like, there's
mad.
a certain.
One
Like,
at a time. Go ahead.
people have to understand it is like between certain groups of people,
Uh-huh.
like there is a dynamic, right? You
Uh-huh.
know, black people can fuck around with black people in a way that white people will get their ass beat for, right? Like skinny people cannot call
fat people out.
thicker Americans out. They can't because they end up on Twitter or YouTube, like body shaming. But if you see two thick individuals calling each other thick people, you got to go like this. Well, they're in the same tribe. They should be able to identify each other. Like a walrus wouldn't call a seal a walrus. He lives with walruses. He knows.
Well, it's almost like you're being so careful. It's almost like it's the N word. Like it's okay if another fat person to call the F word, but not. Go ahead, Donnie.
Yeah.
I can back that up because I used to weigh like around 190, 200 pounds like my whole life, and then I started gaining weight like 7 years ago.
I got married.
Yeah, and I have I started getting a belly, and people would like tease me for like, oh, it looks like you're getting a little belly, because I was still kind of a skinny guy with a belly, But then I put on like another 25 pounds, and no one ever said anything about my belly or nothing. Like,
no,
they just don't talk about it anymore
because people assume you guys are eating through your feelings.
That is an accurate assumption. Actually, that works.
Like I don't assume that I know what's going on in your life, and I'm not going to take it an assumption. I'm not going to be that guy. Like it's literally the F. Like when you want to say like that, you can't say it anymore. Like
I've had customers that accidentally they were just so shocked by it because I haven't seen them in a few years that they couldn't help it. Like, whoa, you put on some weight. I mean, you've been working out with heavy weights. They try to whoa, Donnie.
Because when you live with you every day, you don't notice it. But when someone sees you, they're like, whoa.
That's why old people are cool, but also so offensive because, I wasn't thinking about racism, but my dad's not really old, but he's just kind of from a different time where you just say whatever you're thinking. Mm-hmm. And he teased Donnie for the first time about gaining weight. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, I hope my husband doesn't get offended by this. But he's like, you must be feeding him real good. And I'm like, oh my God, don't say it.
That was a compliment to you, babe.
Well, but so anyways, Donnie wasn't offended, thank God, at least not to my face.
Well, it's because Ashley's been wanting to tell me, but she was afraid to.
I don't see it. I don't care. It doesn't faze me. I don't think about it.
Yeah, me neither.
I only think about it because Donnie thinks about it because he's obsessed with it. So it's like, if you want to lose weight, just freaking do the things to lose the weight. Do you know what I mean?
If it was that easy, everybody would
be
skinny.
I was saying, Sorry, hon. List of things.
Miss, I can eat pizza rolls and milk and not gain any weight.
Yeah, sorry, babe.
It's that kind of. See, Ashley, you didn't mean it mean. Right? People right?
Yeah.
You were talking from a skinny place of love. But skinny sounds different to thick Americans. It sounds different.
Here's my argument, and I guess I'll just say it out loud because here we are.
Now you gotta be very careful.
Right. Okay, so I was actually the chubby kid for a really long time. Then no, seriously, I used to weigh 125 for growing up.
She's talking about when she was in elementary school, Andrew.
I was 4'11", so that was chubby, and people would make fun of me. And then I developed before everybody, so that was weird, and so I got made fun of for that. And then I lost weight because I did the South Beach diet when I was 18. So I started with that, and then I just kept the weight off for a long time. And so I always tell Donnie, I'm maybe I maybe you should take some advice from me on how you should eat because I've kept
stop.
the weight off or maintained weight for all this time.
Ashley.
What? That is
Ashley.
illogical.
No, it's not. That is not logical at all because you eat pizza rolls. Now,
So
with cereal.
what I'm saying is, Ashley, are you really focusing
can't.
on eating healthy, or do you just have a very fast metabolism?
I
mean,
eat
because
well.
Pizza roll cereal.
because you have a very fast metabolism. I don't think that you can say as an expert on like I have a fast metabolism, and I can't tell somebody that, hey, you know what? I eat like 2 pieces of cake a day and a sleeve of peanut butter chocolate Girl Scout cookies. But if you only eat like 1 cookie and a salad, you'll lose weight. I do that because I have a fast metabolism. I'm not an expert.
Well, I mean, then the same could be said for literally any other diet idea out there. What works for one person may not work for the other just because of their body type. So,
and I've talked about
that's
this.
True.
I've talked about this a bunch of times too. Is that any diet can work? So I wanted to show you guys this. It's blurry. It's super blurry. My kid sent it to me. This was Maisie as a baby.
Aww.
And I want to show you guys. This is back in my days as a weight loss czar, and it's me and Allison Stoner. Me and my weight loss czar costume.
That is awesome.
Allison Stoner showing me dance moves.
Yes.
You look
That
like
is a
you
really
were
cool video.
like that's crazy as hell. That looks like Donald Trump appointed you as weight loss czar. Like you didn't have to have a confirmation hearing or nothing. Nobody asked you any follow-up questions. Yeah, they were
disappointment.
Like nobody was like, and what's your background in weight loss, sir? And you were like, hey, I'm hoping to do some eventually.
I was Lucas County's only ever weight loss czar. So
right, because they canceled that position after you.
Good time.
Hey, in Ashley's defense, she did give me a meal plan a couple years ago for like 8 weeks and prepped my meals and everything, and I lost like 15 pounds.
But here's the weird thing is that it really I never noticed it until today. That really is a person that's not fat discussing fat people or discussing fat in general is an awkward conversation for you, very similar to a conversation of a white person in the N-word. It's very interesting. I've never noticed that, but everyone's like, I don't want to say fat, and it's like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because then they get worked up and you put them in like a cardiac distress. It's not fun, you know. Now I gotta say, you know what? I was talking to him. He got upset at me. He had a heart attack. He dropped his hot dog. Like shit went sideways.
Oh God! All right. So that was fun. Let's go. Teebs.green of Adrian. Teebs of Adrian. That's the place to go if you are in Michigan, because we have tons of listeners in Michigan. I remember us doing the small town comedy tour in Adrian. That was one of the great stuff.
That was a good time.
Oh, the whole tour was a good time.
I've heard so many stories about that thing. I don't even want to think about it. Can we talk about something else?
Okay, real quick, just for those listening that don't know, we did a small town comedy tour at our height, really. And we would just go to all the small towns, Adrian, and help me out, Defiance,
Finley, Tiffin,
Oak Harbor.
Yeah, like we went places that most entertainers never thought to go. They were just like, we were like, you know what? Nobody drives to you guys, so
they paid us back big time.
Yes,
yeah,
they came out like
every show
of 400 people. Like I'm talking. Like 400 or 500 people. Like it was insane. I felt like Eddie Murphy.
Hurricane Katrina's dildo. I mean,
swinging her dick around. That was. I will take your manhood. You're like, wow, really? That's your closer. Your closer was rape.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. Like, isn't that funny? You're like, man, that was a different time.
10 years ago.
Back when that joke like got a standing O.
Right?
And that's
right?
the thing too. That's the thing too. It's like so you look at like the controversy that Sharon Osbourne is going through right now, and you know. If you're like for you, and I know D's got it, and I know that I have it for sure. If you wanted to string together some things to make a case against me on some words that I've said, I think anyone that does anything live that is recorded or in front of an audience or anything is going to be subject to this. So we really got to, I don't know, we just got to be careful. Sharon Osbourne. Go ahead, Donnie.
I don't have a lot of stand-up still on my YouTube page because most of it was like edgy, and I turned my YouTube page into like a family channel. But I left some stuff up there that was clean. But there was one joke in a bit that we did on the air that I'm not even gonna talk about. I cut it out of the YouTube video like 10 years later because I was like, I want to leave this up, but I cut the joke out. I mean, it wasn't like terrible, but I mean, it probably wasn't good.
But the thing is, it's like, so now she's more stuff is coming. I mean, for those who don't know, Sharon Osbourne's on the talk. She was defending Piers Morgan, who said something. He's just being a fucking asshole. And but it wasn't racist. I don't see that it was racist. I just don't. And then so now, just because Sharon Osbourne defended her friend and coworker for years, Piers Morgan, who she's known for years, now they're saying that she's racist because she defended something that I don't even think was racist, but whatever. I think he said some shitty things, and she just happened to be black. We just got to be careful with this a little bit, and I'm all for. But anyway, she's almost 70 years old, and so they're pulling stuff up. Although they did say that she called Julie Chen wonton and slanty eyes, according to multiple unnamed sources. But when you're 70
come on
years
now,
old, when you're 70 years old, you've said some shit like that.
But nah, I'm gonna have to lean towards Donnie with this one and just go like you can say some things like colored, okay, or that, and people are like, okay, I can gauge who you are and your generation. Generationally, I can gauge who you are. But when you say shit like wonton is just Chinese for racist. That when you say wonton or you call a black person chicken wing, oh my God, let me tell you something real quick. My son, who is a very he's a genius, and he's very light complected, and if we were walking through the mall, it would look like I was babysitting him. Now,
no, it does not.
Yes, it does.
Oh God, he looks just like you.
if that kid took off and started running from me in the mall, I would be tackled, and somebody would go, "Is he okay?" And that's what would happen.
You okay, little boy?
Yeah. Was that colored man chasing you? And but we were like running around the house, and then like he yells at me. He goes, "You listen here, chocolate chip." And I went, and let me just tell you, like yeah. And I was like,
did you get canceled?
I was like, what the fuck did you call me? Like literally, my racist muscle kicked in, and I was like, I looked at him and I was like, why'd you call me chocolate chip? And he goes, because I was going to eat you. And I went, man, that was I was like, what the fuck? Like I almost went at him like, look here, you little racist dick. Like,
but he's part chocolate chip, part macadamia nut, so he can say whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's definitely a sugar cookie with caramel sprinkled in.
Yeah,
but it was just him saying it, and I was like, why'd you call me chocolate chip? And he was like, well, he goes, why'd you think I called you chocolate chip?
What'd you say?
And I went, because I'm darker than you. And he goes, no. He goes, Daddy, you're tan. He goes, you're tan. He goes, I'm tan.
Yeah.
We're tan. I was like, oh, okay. So it was just like weird. Like he called me chocolate chip, and I was just like,
yeah.
Like that's a cool name if I'm in a rap group, but bitch, if you call me that in the streets, we're fighting.
Sweet.
I love it.
Okay, so Sharon Osbourne, she also, besides calling Julie Chen wonton, she called Sarah Gilbert, who is a lesbian, a pea licker and fish eater.
Dude, she's a racist
so
and a bigot.
Right.
She's
a bigot. Yeah, it sounds like she's got some stuff going on.
But she's 70.
No,
sounds like they were waiting for something.
70?
Yeah,
that's not even that old.
That doesn't make it right, and we can almost guarantee she's licked a couple of peas before and eaten some fish, right? She's married. She's married to Osborne, right?
That's what I was just gonna say. Maybe because she's married to someone like him, she feels like she is free to say whatever she wants because she's been through it all. Maybe. I don't know.
I stopped giving passes a while ago. Like, I don't do that anymore. Like, I remember telling Andrew's like, you gotta give passes to old people. No, I don't. I don't have to give passes.
What's the point of correcting though if you're not going to give somebody another chance though? That's my thing about cancel culture is like, what's the point of fixing it then?
I don't think it's cancel culture to call out racist. I don't think that's cancel culture at all.
That's not what I'm saying. But to not give them another chance to make it right is not okay. I think.
Look, here's the birth of Donald Trump. Is because he will never apologize for anything. Okay. Then you give tons of examples of people that have apologized. And because this culture now doesn't accept apologies, is what you do. Well, then what is the motivation to apologize?
Right.
If Donald Trump gets rewarded for just not admitting anything, and people that admitted they have done wrong and apologize, and we're like, they don't fucking mean it. Oh, they're only wrong because they got caught. But well, then why would anyone ever apologize? I don't understand.
I don't think I'm saying that you can't give them a chance to apologize. I'm just not giving you a pass. I'm not going to just ignore your racist comments. I'm going to call them out every single time. And if you don't stop your behavior, then you're going to know a little bit more about yourself.
Go ahead, D.
I think. Look, going back, and what she said was clearly inappropriate. It was if she called Julie Chen a wonton, if she called Sarah Gilbert, the sister of one of the best actresses ever to grace American television screen, Melissa Gilbert from Little House on the Prairie, if you didn't know. Anyway.
Is that really her sister?
Yes, that is her sister.
They look nothing alike. There's no way.
I swear to God.
Melissa Gilbert and Sarah Gilbert are sisters?
Georgia, can you verify? Or Gina?
Did you throw us off on purpose, Demetrius?
You guys are good. Yeah, he needed a little more time to think about what he was going to say.
No, but what I think you have to take what was said and weigh it against actions after that time, right? So if you can show me that, what you said was racist, but you've gone through your life after that, working and showing growth. If I can go, wow, okay, at that point in their life, they were racist, but now she's started foundations, she's embraced people, and that shows growth. Nick Cannon went through the same thing like a year ago, right? When he said all of his anti-Semitic stuff on his podcast, and then Viacom cut him off. And he was like, but what he did was he didn't say, hey, I was right. He leaned into it. He was like, I need to understand what I said. I need to learn. And so then he circled himself around rabbis and asked them questions and started really getting into it and trying to understand, what he said and why it was so damaging. And then he grew. And he grew to a point where Viacom was like, we have seen growth in you and we will reestablish this connection. Like, It is okay to have consequences, but if you can show me that what you said back then is not who you are today, then I'm okay with that. Because I will tell you, back in the day, I've said some things and felt a certain kind of way towards people, but my opinion and my views of them have changed. Right.
Let me ask you this. Were you finished, D? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. I do have a question though. Yeah. We know in the back of our mind, and Donnie, did you want to say something?
Just I'm agreeing with Demetrius. Like, yes, there should be consequences, but we've kind of talked about this before. Like, when someone does something wrong, like should they not ever be able to work again? Like what's it's hard to gauge what the good consequence is. Well, because it's like if
I think when somebody does something wrong, they shouldn't have a platform. the platform should be taken away. So like a politician that and I'm not saying 30 years ago, if they did it 30 years ago, that's fine. But a politician, like in the last 10 years, you've done something stupid, or an actress or actor that has done something stupid, then I think your platform should be taken away, because you don't get to have that platform if you're a bigot.
Who determines that a platform should be taken away, though? I mean, do we want?
But who determines too? Like, if you like, so for me personally, like, I'm sure that I've said something that's been offensive to someone at some point, and I would hate for that to be pulled back up and me lose my job or this is a platform for me and for Donnie. Like, I would hate for that to all be ripped away because I may have said something that I probably don't even mean now. I probably didn't even mean it when I said it. You know what I mean?
Well, and I have 2 points on that, Ashley. The first point is we all know in the back of our mind what is offensive and what to say and what not to say. But you can't tell me that in your whole lifetime that at one point when you got really mad at someone, you didn't say that exact thing that's in that Rolodex just to try to hurt them.
Right.
It happens all the time. Now, did you mean it? You didn't mean it. But you were mad at the time, so you wanted to hurt them as much as possible. So you go to that thing that's in the Rolodex that you would have never said if you weren't pissed. Go ahead, D.
We're not talking about a one and done. Sorry, D. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
First of all, I don't think that's close to being an excuse, because if that's the thing that you go to hurt somebody, then you have to question who you are, right? You have to, like, there is something that you have to ask yourself. If you're like, I know this cut so deep that I am willing to pull this out of my quiver and use it, then I have pause with you. Something like that in itself is, the fact that you don't mean it but you're willing to say it doesn't make it better, right? And because you come from a place of anger doesn't excuse it.
But you really, so you don't think people do that all the time, though, is what I'm saying.
It's not right. Just because it's done all the time.
And you wouldn't say it if you weren't pissed. And you probably feel bad after it comes out of your mouth. And in the next hour, you feel shitty because you said it. But
I'm even just thinking like things that you don't even like things that you're just having a conversation and maybe it could be offensive to someone. Like, you don't mean it offensively and you're not trying to be offensive, but it just comes out and that person feels a certain type of way about what you've said or how they've inferred what you've said.
And that's my issue too. I'll get right to you, Gina, but that's my issue too, is that when you don't have a personal connection with somebody, it's so easy for you to write them off when you know you've done shit that people could write off as well, but you have no forgiveness in you whatsoever. If you have a personal connection with them or a history with them, then you're going to be like, I'll give them a pass, or they say sorry, it's okay. But we don't, in this society now, if we don't have a personal connection, we don't accept any apologies from anyone whatsoever. We're ready to cancel. It's over. And I hate using the word cancel because there are people that say shit that's wrong and they hide behind it. Oh, you're going to cancel me. Well, yeah, because you said some stupid shit. It's not canceling. It's being it's atoning for
consequences.
But it's consequences for your words. But
being held accountable, yeah.
Gina,
so I don't think I mean, and maybe we do that, but I don't think usually it's a matter of a one and done thing. Like with Sharon Osbourne, she didn't get canceled for what she said and sticking up for Piers Morgan. That's not what happened. They did an investigation. They look back and now they're saying there is a pattern of behavior established. And I think that's kind of like, Ashley, if you're talking and you say something that's offensive one time, I'm not going to not talk to you anymore. Like, that was a one and done. But if you continuously do that, or you do it over a period of time, then that's when I say no more. So people aren't just walking around like, oh my gosh, Justin, what's his name? The hot Canadian president. Justin Trudeau.
Trudeau.
Yeah. So Justin Trudeau.
He wore blackface. I said Thoreau. Henry David Thoreau, the Canadian Prime Minister.
He is actually related to
blackface a while back.
They're adopted half sisters.
And that it's not okay. At the time, it wasn't okay either. But that was a one and done. He doesn't have an established pattern of behavior. He did that one time. He's not canceled. Nobody's screaming and yelling for him to I don't know how we would cancel a Canadian president, but if we could, But that was a one and done. So there are instances that I hear what you're saying, but there are instances where that people are being canceled and they're like, oh, they're canceled for that. No, they're canceled for a pattern of behavior.
But here's where I disagree. It is whether it's the law, and I'm a guy that's been in trouble with the law. Once you're in this, or let's say it's a tax thing. I've had both problems happen. Once you're flagged by the IRS, or you're in trouble with the law, or your company starts to look at you because of an incident, it's easy to put together a case. Once you're in the spotlight, it's easy to put together a case of other things because they're taken out of context. That happens all the time. With Sharon Osbourne, you got to take the whole life, and but when there's one thing there, then you look for the other things and you start to line all the bad things up together. You're like, man, this is a shitty person. People could easily do that to me. Easily. Go ahead, D.
People have done that too.
Like, and all right, like, I agree. Context is a very, very important thing. You have to look in what is and how it was said and what was being said. You can't pull just the statement out. But I'm telling you, deep in my heart, that I don't care if she used the word, you can't tell me that I'm not listening to the context of somebody when they use the word wonton. You can't tell me that I've missed the context of something when she refers to somebody as a pea licker and a fish eater. I've missed the context around that. I know the context around that. Those phrases are the context around that. It's not, hey, you didn't listen to the previous paragraph that I said to her before, which will explain why I used the word wonton. Well, guess what? I'm pretty much going to assume that it was probably racist in the paragraph before that because you used the word wonton in the paragraph after that.
Okay, well, so I'm not going to go to bat because what? Oh, something just popped up. I'm not going to bat for
Your
Sharon
computer
Osbourne.
was like, Flippy was like, stop.
Yeah. No, so just hear me out. I'm not trying to go to bat.
It's got to be careful, bitch filter.
I know, right? So what I was going to say was, So like, this is because Gina said, Ashley, if you say one thing one time, I'm not, maybe you'll let it go. But if it keeps happening over and over again, then you kind of are at your wit's end. But do you give the person a warning? Like, has someone been telling her, like, listen, Sharon, you're being pretty offensive and I don't like that? Or did everybody just kind of let it? And this is not just with her, but this is with everybody. Like, hold on a minute. She's older. She's on a panel with a lot of younger women who may or may not be comfortable to speak to her or give their opinion. So, but can we get into a position where it's like, because honestly, I would want to know. Like, Gina, if there was something I said and that offended you, I would want you to be like, listen, I didn't really like that. And so then I would be aware and I might be like, oh my God, I had no idea that I was doing that. So
Right.
is someone giving her the opportunity to fix what she's done wrong? Or are we just keeping count of what she's doing to like put her ass on blast?
I think you bring up a great point, D. I'll get right over to you, I promise. But you bring up a great point in the fact that she's a celebrity and no one has probably called her out. Now, here's the thing. If you've been called out and you continue to do it, that's a whole different ball game, I think. Is that you've been shown what's wrong. You're like, hey, this is why it's wrong. You shouldn't be saying this, blah, blah, blah. And you continue to do it. Now it's a choice because you've been told. Go ahead, D.
Right.
You mean, and I'm trying to stay as calm as possible, that as a regular human being, I need to take time out of my day to point out to you that wonton is wrong? You mean to tell me that at the end of my day, I have to pause because you don't have enough self-awareness to know that when you refer to somebody as a fish eater, that's wrong? I have to tell you that because you don't know? That's my responsibility? That can't be my responsibility. If I use the word wonton, if I use a racist term, I know what that means.
Well, I'm
That's
not
what
sure.
I'm saying, but not everyone is that intelligent or that like emotionally aware or whatever
Ashley.
you say, whatever it's called. I'm just saying you have to give someone an opportunity to make it better. I can't.
Ashley, if you're in a group of people and you hear a woman say, "Oh, look at that wonton," you're gonna go.
Yes,
This is what
of
you're gonna
course.
say. You're gonna go like this. You're gonna say to them, "Oh my God, maybe she just doesn't know that's offensive."
No, I would say, what would you say that for? That is so offensive. That person would be offended by that.
Well, like, here's something real quick. D, is I don't know what's a more constructive conversation is if it's for us talking about Sharon Osbourne in particular or this subject in general, because this can be a constructive conversation, but I don't know if I necessarily want to defend Sharon Osbourne. But
and that's why I said I'm not defending her. I'm just saying it gives a little bit of like platform or whatever to having the bigger conversation, which is why all of this stuff is happening and why it becomes big news, is so that we can talk about it and we can fix it.
I agree. All right, let's
which show is she on? Which
The Talk. It's the
Talk.
View,
Okay.
but it's on CBS.
So you're telling, like, I would love to go back and look at the footage of her calling Sarah Gilbert a fish eater and a pea licker and calling.
Oh, you're never gonna see. Never gonna see footage of that.
Those are backstage reports.
Oh, okay.
I have seen people be extremely offensive to someone else, like in a way that they think they're being endearing. I've witnessed it myself. They think that they're endearing themselves, and I'm not defending anybody. I'm not
in general,
any means defending Sharon Osbourne.
In general,
I'm just saying, like, I have seen someone be extremely offensive to someone, trying to be endearing to them, trying to be like my friend, and I have seen it, and we had to like talk to this person about it and be like, look, I know that you're just trying to show this person that you love them and like them, but that's not cool. Right. You know what I mean? Like, because that's all we're saying is let's give people. We have to give people a chance to grow and learn and know.
I agree with that to a degree.
What if she said "my little wonton" or something like that?
The problem is
it's horribly offensive, but she's like, "Come here." Like if she said it to her, "Come here," like, hey, like that's why they said they're. Even though, yes, it's D. I know it sounds so obvious, but
it is. It doesn't sound obvious. It's not obvious.
It's not obvious.
I know.
But what about when you guys are like?
This is the danger. This is the danger that we have is when we have so many people who are willing to excuse this behavior because they don't know any better. When we're trying to just say, you know what, let's just let them grow. Sometimes you need to put a foot in somebody's ass to make them grow. We have kids. We all know.
Let's take a deep breath. Let's move on.
How are we going to get better though? Like we can't just draw a line and that's it.
Well, the line's been drawn publicly for quite a long time now. Like we know as a society that these things are not okay. We know that.
But that's not true because a lot of it is environment. I mean, maybe your parents were racist, maybe your parents were offensive, maybe your grandparents were, and that's what you've been around. Maybe you live in a community where everyone talks like that, and you think it's okay. If you get outside of that community, sometimes you'll need someone to say, "Okay, hold on."
If the world was still way back before interwebs and all that, then maybe so, but not anymore. Like the world is too small. Like you like I grew up in Genoa. I wasn't around a lot of Black people until I was, like an early teenager. And
then Gina found out how much she liked Black people.
It's funny because most of my boyfriends have been white. But anyway, so I grew up surrounded, like I didn't know a lot about Black people, but I knew enough even back then to not say racist shit. Like you just know not to. Like it doesn't.
But your family's not racist. It's just different.
It doesn't matter. My immediate family not racist at all. Every single I could tell you probably 80% of the people that went to Genoa were racist as fuck, and the other 20% have mixed kids now. Genoa was so racist back then, So I was surrounded by racism, and when you're a teenager, your friends have more influence on you than your family. So the people I was around then should have had more influence. But even before I knew a lot of Black people, I knew that what they were saying was wrong. I don't think I'm smarter than the average person. The shit's wrong.
All right. We got to move. Go ahead, D, quick.
Okay, real quick. And I'm just going to share this story. And this is what I'm going to say is the difference between intentional and unintentional. When I was a kid, and I'm a mixed child, raised predominantly on the white side of my family. Okay. My mom put me in swimming lessons. My mom put me into choir. She did all this stuff. And then there was one day that she had a conversation with her sister. And her sister said to her, maybe we need to spend a little more time focusing on the other part of his culture. And so they discussed it. And the idea that they came up with was sending me to basketball camp. Now, unintentional, good motives behind it, still racist.
So does that make them bad people, though?
No.
Yeah,
but this is what I'm saying. That's unintentional. That shit can be worked with. When somebody calls you a wonton, when somebody calls you the N-word, when somebody says to you, based upon the color of your skin, I am going to judge you and I consider you less than who I am. That is the shit that needs to be addressed and cannot be excused. I can work with unintentional racism. That's ignorance. That is just because you don't know any better. I can work with that. But what I can't work with is somebody who aggressively calls me a word that ends in ER and makes bears come running.
Let me ask you this, D. Forget it. All right, we got it. Let's move on to I think everyone's view has been deliberated to the satisfaction of everyone. Okay. So, Maumee City Council has approved the effing redevelopment of their uptown, and they're going to leave the goddamn one lane with the freaking things, and it's the dumbest thing I have ever seen in my life. How can the city of Maumee, how can the people that make the decisions be that disconnected from every single regular person that says this was the dumbest idea?
Wait, what are they doing now? Like the one-way streets? Is that what you're saying?
They changed.
Main Street.
You're a Maumee guy.
Yeah.
Tell.
So basically, what they did was they've taken Main Street and instead of the 4 lanes that it was, they've now cut it down to 2 lanes, outgoing and incoming. Right. So it's now a 2-lane road with more parking in front of the businesses.
Yeah.
Now, I know people don't like it, and people
it's a nightmare.
I know it's a nightmare. And people are going, you know what, Maumee didn't talk to regular people. Mm-hmm. But what they did do was they talked to businesses on that road, and they were like, what is the thing that we can probably do that will help you guys the most? And they were like, we need more parking. And so, I mean, it's a pain in the ass for people, you know what, but are we talking about economic development? Would you not rather see a booming Maumee downtown? Don't you guys want another traffic light?
I see it. Well, here's where I disagree. What you've done is you've screwed the neighborhoods the block over on each side, because like Josh says, now everyone just diverts down the side streets. So now you've increased. This is so well thought out, and everyone says that Maumee, the rumor is, and I don't know if this is confirmed by the public, the rumor is they don't like a bunch of cars going through, whether you're going to Perrysburg or where you're coming out of Perrysburg going wherever on the trail or whatever, that they don't like people going through. And that's why they did it, is to frustrate some of that traffic. But that is not saying Maumee is friendly and welcoming and wants people to spend money in businesses. If you're telling me you don't want me to drive through your fucking town, well, then I'm not going to stop.
That's not what they're telling you. That's not what. That's not. I know that's what you. I know that's what you. I know that's what you heard. I know that's how you feel.
So here's the thing.
How I feel.
Even if he doesn't feel that way, like Mommy is almost never a destination for me, but I do use it to go between, my house and Perrysburg. So I do stop at those businesses. Like I see the Village Idiot and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't had pizza in a while. But it's usually not a destination. So they are losing my money by doing that because I never go through there anymore.
They're not losing your money because you just said it's usually never a destination for you.
No, but I still, what I'm saying is I go through, whenever I do go through there, I do stop and spend money. I stop and get gas. I do those things, but now won't, now they don't get my money. So they have lost it because I don't drive through there and I don't stop anymore and I don't spend my money there. So they have lost my business.
I think it's bad. And I can't believe, D, that you don't see the fact that it's a bad move.
I understand that what they're trying to do is increase the businesses in the downtown area. They want to slow traffic down so maybe people can get a look at some of the things that Mommy has to offer.
Well, we want to get home. And when you slow down the traffic and we want to get home, we're not thinking, oh, what great businesses. We're like, I'm never coming back this fucking way again.
Do you know how I feel? I feel like driving through Maumee is the same way I feel about driving on Secor through Ottawa Hills. Do you know how narrow like that 4-lane road is? Like you feel like you're driving in people's yards sometimes because you don't want to get bumped by the dude on your left. Like that shit was crazy and it still gives me anxiety. But a 1-lane road, I mean, really, what are you rushing home to? Most of you people have failing marriages anyway. Why don't you just look at some of the fucking businesses on the side of the road and imagine you drinking yourself to the point where you like your wife again? How about that?
How much more tolerable will your wife be if you stop at the Village Idiot and get a couple of shots before you make it home?
Will it have a turning lane? We'll have a turning lane.
right
I'm
into
back
the
in the
Village
podcast, so watch what you say.
Yeah. Anyway, although here's what I do like. What I do like is they are talking about widening sidewalks and making it a little more walk friendly, and they're talking about voting on Adora in Uptown on April 1st. Adora would be awesome where you're walking from bar to bar, so that would be kind of cool. But D is the only one that agrees with. I don't know what they put in here. They're paying him on the side, obviously.
No, I just want to know. I mean, out of all the things that
as a resident, they're paying you as an influencer. That's obvious.
As all the things that we have that are going on in this world, we're really going to take time and complain about a road in a tiny town.
If you take that road every day going through Maumee, that's a big chunk. If you've adding,
then you'll eventually get used to it. So suck it up, Buttercup.
You're adding an hour a day to an hour a week to a commute. You're adding 4 hours a month to a commute. That is a big effing deal, you bastard.
First they take our lanes.
The chip.
I don't know how you guys can just go from talking about all that deep shit to talking about a road in Maumee. Like
because this is what friendship looks like.
Yeah, this is what friendship looks like. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Donnie P, Ashton P, Demetrius Nicodeumus, Gina. Thanks to Tammy and of course our producer Georgia. You guys are awesome. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye everybody.
Come on.